Michael Jackson has become sort of notorious for that revelation about, the devils in the industry and that kind of stuff. And you just pointed out in his song, he did his best to sort of portray accurately what people look like back then. How do you guys feel about celebrity right now and the stuff that's coming out? Kanye, Kyrie. Is it good for us in the truth? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? How do you feel about that?
I think I think their take on whatever they're finding out about themselves, I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
I think, this is how else is it gonna be taught to the masses, to everybody on this earth before his return? Like you that public figure with, the masses just listening, that so many people, know who they are. That's the start, So I think a lot of seeds and watering is going on right now.
There it is.
Yeah, just laying back on what she was saying. Yeah, I was wondering when I first got in the truth and I heard that the whole world has got to hear the truth before it's all said and done. I was wondering, well, how is the Most High going to do that? Because, we know our teachers. We know Brother Bowie and Brother Danny and Brother Elijah and all the big names but the world, compared to the world, don't nobody know them. You know what I'm saying? We know them, So I was wondering, how is the Most High going to do this? And it only makes sense that he took a celebrity of that magnitude, two, as a matter of fact, and say, hey, we the Israelites. Now I got everybody to thinking.
At the same time, in two totally different situations.
Exactly. Now the whole world. So I think it's actually a very good thing, to be quite honest. Of course, you're going to have to weed it out because the Lord said he's going to purge the rebels when we get to the wilderness anyway. So people going to learn, people going to come in, they're going to leave out, whatever. But it's going to be known fact that we are the Israelites. And being that it's going to be known fact, now we got to gear for Jacob's trouble because now Edom is about to make it hard for us because everybody know that they're lying now.
Yeah. What I would say, it is great just to land back. Oh, for one, we land back. We don't piggyback. We just want to throw that out there.
It is.
But I think it's great because, like he said, you had to find some type of way for it to get to the masses. And that had to have gone globally because Kanye is a global artist.
He's a global figure.
Is a global figure. And so with him saying what he is saying, it's like it makes room for even people that's in the truth doing music like us, for our music to influence people that is looking for this now because Kanye said it, because Kyrie said it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's a great thing, and it just proves that Ezekiel 37 is in motion as far as the Valley of the Dry Bones actually waking up, figuring out who they are.
You can actually see the Great Awakening happening right now.
Right, you can see it. You can see prophecy happening before our eyes.
For those who know, you know what I'm saying.
So that brings me to my next question, which is, on this latest project, you have a song called Resurrection. And I thought it was interesting that the first verse and the second verse kind of talk about the same thing from different angles. So, like, the second verse is, if I remember correctly, kind of about, matter of fact, let me not explain your song. How did you sort of translate, or how do you translate what's written in the Bible to lyrics that can be digested by the world? And how does that process work for you?
Well, I would just have to break the whole verse down. But basically, I start off with the fraudulence living life as a Sadducee. So the Sadducees would be like the upper, echelon of society. You know what I'm saying? But they're infused in the culture that's dominant at that time, which was the Greek culture. But you were going around acting like you believed in God, but you really doing this. So that's fraudulence. And in the next verse, I say the fraudulence living life as a Sadducees got no tolerance. You are not of his majesty. Mm-hmm. So it's like you are really not of Christ.
We ain't got no tolerance for that.
So when my verse inevitably came in, I was thinking about from the standpoint of the whole concept was the standpoint of people coming to try to take our crown away. So our resurrection is our crown. So you're going to do whatever it takes for us to get off of get off board of the walk that we are trying to walk in, right? And so the hypocrites are going to constantly do that. Snakes are going to constantly do that. The devil going to work through them in order for them to knock us off of the mission that we got going. So that's the whole process of where my verse came from, the angle where I want to take my verse. But Ben can explain here.
Now, my verse, it was from the angle after the baptism. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said when I started off, I said, old man sleeping, new creature breathing. That's after you done came up out of the water and everything else. Now you actually walking the path now. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why I said now I'm on a mission. Old man sleeping, new creature breathing. The fallen angels on a mission in the dark and behind the chains of darkness. On a mission steadily seeking the life of this walking target. We all walking targets now because we done came into the word, because we done found the meaning of life. Now that we done found the meaning of life, we a target now. So we put the souls to the paved concrete beat. We start this walk now. And what you see, a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a dark tunnel that we going in. But we see that light at the end because the Lord, we can see that light at the end because the Lord done told us this is what's happening. See a light, so we start to run it. We running this thing now. At the same time, we ducking powers of principalities. You know, them hot shots is coming from Satan. You already know what it is. The fiery darts. So them hot shots from his Glock. You know what I'm saying? But what are we? We fresh up out the water, so we born gladiators. We born again now, and the Lord, he raised up warriors. So that's where my verse came from after the baptism. You know what I'm saying?
And then here I come in with, is this what you came for? Are you not entertained? So in that spiritual setting and spiritual warfare that we going on, now we mentally, spiritually resurrected, and now we ready for the battle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, we fall, but we get back up.
Yep.
And I got my Jakes with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't this what you came for? You came to fight, right?
Right.
And once we beat him, it's like, aren't you not entertained?
Right. Exactly.
Y'all looking at us.
Right.
Yeah, you entertained by this, but watch this. We gonna make it up out of this. What about you?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of meaning behind that song,
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah,
When
it
we
was a
said
deep
my
song.
resurrection, we like really meant
Man.
my resurrection from every
Coming
angle.
for my resurrection.
Exactly.
Well, you know what's